Hello, everyone, and welcome to Million Dollar Media. I'm your host, Max Kellerhalls, and with me today I have
Kyah Jernigan. I am the assistant manager and the treasurer of Wave Radio, and I'm here.
And why are we here today?
It's Valentine's Day.
Yes, it is. It's Valentine's Day, the day of love, or for most people, single, a day that's maybe a little bit sad, but we're here to be with you. We care, don't we? Pain, yeah. We're in Spain without the S. All right. So today we're going to be talking about our favorite romantic movies. They could be romantic comedies, they could be romantic dramas, or combine them, romantic dramedies. They can have fantasy elements, sci-fi elements, horror elements, and yeah, we're just going to have a pretty good time talking about romantic movies to make us feel sad that there's no one there.
That's so sad. What a sad thing to say.
If you have any problems, this is not going to help you at all.
It's not.
But we're here to laugh and make fun of ourselves. So, alright. How we consider romantic movies is that the plot has to involve a person trying to get with another person. So, it can't just be a movie that has an ongoing plot and then a subplot of a romantic movie. So, like Indiana Jones, Matrix, any of the Marvel movies where the characters get together in the end, we don't count that because that's not what the driving force of the plot is. So we'll go into a bunch of different romantic movies. And instead of what I did last Friday, I'm going to do the top 5 worst romantic movies first. And I think Kyah has one that she wants to start off at number 5. So at number 5 we have
Romeo and Juliet, but it's the 1996 one with Leonardo DiCaprio and the one that played Juliet. I don't remember who she was. Reading this book in high school, and my teacher thought it would be the coolest thing if we watched a little clip of this movie. She turned this movie on. I thought I was on a different world. I was like, man, this doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any visually. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful movie visually, but when they open their mouths to start talking, that's where I get mad.
For those who don't know about what this movie is, it's the classic Romeo and Juliet story, but told in the 1996 modern day LA. The thing is, they don't change the dialogue. It is still the Shakespeare's dialogue through a backdrop of 1996. So they're like, instead of houses, it's like gangs of
it's like
people.
Crime families.
Like crime families.
Yeah.
Like swords are technically guns.
They're guns, yeah.
But they have like sword written on the gun. And like this has some of the weirdest like characterizations. Like Mercutio is just
weird.
Like
everyone drove a sports car because it was like it was Verona, but it was like Verona Beach, so it was like LA, but like Verona, and everyone just had like a Mustang. This was drifting. It was weird. Yeah. It made no sense, and it's so frustrating.
It's very frustrating. I don't like this movie either. I do not like anything Baz Luhrmann, so I don't like his interpretation of The Great Gatsby. Yeah. That movie got on my nerves. It's not on the list, but that movie just got me on my nerves. Yeah. I did not like that. Yeah, and also to answer the question, the girl, Juliet, the girl, is played by Claire Danes, who I love Claire Danes, and I think she appears in the movie that's going to be on my best list.
Really?
I think. I can't be too sure.
I like the movie for the visuals. Like, I love that scene where they were in that church and all those, like, the candles and the rosaries. And that was sick to look at.
It's really cool production-wise.
Yeah.
I just hate the editing. Like, that's the thing that really...
It was edited, like...
edited like the editor was just like, okay, before... Like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to finish this before 5 o'clock. He sees this bag of cocaine, and he's just like, fuck it, let's go! Let's just do this!
Have you ever seen, like, those, like, really crazy edited, like, Bollywood movies? That's what it was edited like.
Well, there, it's like a cultural thing. Here, it's like...
just like,
what the hell are you doing?
There's so much going on.
Alright. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
This one is a movie that just kind of got on my nerves because of the woe is me. At number 4, we have Netflix's own Tall Girl.
I've never seen Tall Girl.
I have, and this movie is so annoying.
What you described to me just makes me mad.
So the basic plot is this girl at high school. She doesn't have that many friends because she is tall.
Yeah.
Because she is tall.
She's a tall lady. She's got some issues there.
Yes. Keep in mind, that's it.
That's it.
She's white.
Yeah.
Has a good family.
Yeah. She's fine.
She has a friend.
Yeah.
She's just tall.
Tall.
And okay, I could just be ignorant, but no. This movie is just bad. It is probably one of the biggest woe is me, look at my problems movie I have ever seen.
I'm tall. How tall is she?
And probably like my height's so like 6'4", maybe. But like almost all the other guys are like 5'9", and the guy that, spoilers, but please don't watch this. This has one of the worst foreshadowing elements I've ever seen in a movie, where her best friend, who he secretly likes her and he has a crush on her, he constantly carries around this apple crate with all of his book bags and stuff. Why? I don't know.
But he's trying to make moves. He needs to make some moves. So he's got this crate.
Look,
He's going.
I don't condone bullying, but if you're a kid who is carrying around an apple crate with your books, you could get picked on.
Yeah.
You have every right. But it's a weird foreshadowing element where at the very end of the movie, he confesses her feelings for her. She accepts.
Yeah.
And he puts the apple crate down to get on her level. And they kiss.
You gotta give him a little bit of credit for that effort. He tried. He had a crate. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna put this thing to good use today. I'm gonna kiss this girl. He's got it.
For those who are listening, which is pretty much all, I'm looking at Kyah and just.
I can't defend that. You're right. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Don't try it.
Okay. Massive L.
Yeah, you can get down. Like she can get down a bit. I don't know. But
I mean.
Let's please move on.
Yeah.
All right,
and something worse.
All right, now this is genuinely gonna piss off a lot of our female audience.
It's gonna make me mad. No, I'm mad. It's making me angry.
No. Like, do you like these movies?
No.
Oh, because I think that there's Here's what at number 3 we have Twilight, and I'm just gonna include all the Twilights because.
What was the worst one?
The last one.
The last one.
Oh yeah.
The last one was the most interesting one to me because
All
they
right,
actually
fine.
start doing stuff.
You know what? I just see these all as one fucking film.
You don't think it was really cool when the dude like cut off the dad's head and they were like, oh my god! And
yeah, it was cool.
Head, like,
it was cool until it was all a fucking dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream. Yeah.
And okay, here's what I also can see as a bad romance is where the relationship between the two should not work and is an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
Edward and Bella?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
No.
This is a horrible relationship.
I mean, at the end of if I remember these right, because I went on a little journey to like rewatch them all, and I rewatched them all.
Mm-hmm.
It was my understanding that Edward was like, you don't need this. You have a chance to like not be with me, and then she was like, no, I love you, Edward. And then now she's just stuck in this
relationship.
Yeah, forever, pretty much, because they're immortal now, I think.
Also, the werewolf Jacob, in love with her daughter, who's 5.
What did he say?
He's imprinted on her. He only liked her because he somehow saw that their love child, or Edward and Bella's love baby, was going to be his affection.
What did she say? She was like, you named my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster? Because he gave her the nickname like Nessie. It was so stupid. That whole scene was stupid. The baby had a CGI face. It still makes me like, why couldn't you just have a normal baby?
I hate sparkly vampires. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
When did that movie come out? When did Twilight? 2008.
2008 or 6.
How old was I? When I first watched Twilight, I was like 12. I was like, that's cool. That's cool.
2008.
I don't
Ironically,
like
the same year.
coloring.
Oh, I hate the color.
The little
colors.
bit. I like. Occasionally, I'll be like. Oh,
I think it's an
I'm
interesting
movie.
idea because the whole idea is like vampires are cold.
Yeah.
So having a blue tint to everything,
Like
but still,
Washington.
it still has probably the funniest effect where he's carrying her through the woods,
Yeah,
and you can clearly see he's on a
That
wire.
was hilarious.
Oh
That was
yeah.
so funny.
Here, I'll say this:
Terrible movie.
I was still excited for Robert Pattinson, or as the YouTube channel
Yeah.
Weekly Planet calls him, Robert Battenbat. I'm really excited for him to be Batman
Yeah.
because I've seen him in like his trippy, weird roles, like in the Lighthouse and stuff. So I think everybody in this movie is a great actor, giving the worst script.
I feel like this is why I have a problem with them because they ruined. I'm not gonna say they ruined their lives, but they did mess with each of their lives in some way. I read something the other day that Taylor Lautner said that he could not like leave his house because there were
Yeah.
people that genuinely just wanted to like be with him, and like there was a countdown when he turned 18 and
Yep.
stuff. Like
Mhm.
he was terrified to go anywhere. Like
Mhm.
got like Robert Patterson just hated it.
He
Like,
hate-
he
he hates-
it. He hates it.
I saw him in an interview recently for GQ where he went over his career, and he
Yeah.
talks fondly about the movie. He's like, "Hey, they got me on the map. They got me to like
Yeah.
allowed me to do whatever I want." But like you could clearly see in some interviews, like, I hate this shit.
Yeah, he hated it. They hated it. Like it just, and then you look at them in those kind of movies, and then you see them like you see Kristen Stewart like.
Oh,
What did she just do? She just did.
Spencer.
Yeah, she did that.
She did the Princess Diana movie, and like
Solid.
she's a great actress.
Yeah.
Like,
Taylor Lautner it has a
well,
well-deserved, but he needed to be not
yeah,
in it because that basically just ruined his mental
Career,
state for a
yeah.
minute. So he was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
And then Robert Pattinson's gonna be Batman. So
talk about mental states. You can't go nuttier than Batman.
yo.
Yeah. Okay.
Batman will be like, tell me where he's at.
I mean, that's what he did in the trailer. Okay, moving on. We have what do we have at number 2? Oh, time to piss more people
This
off.
one makes me mad.
50 Shades of, you know what, gray, darker, freed, whatever. They're all
It's 50,
Bad.
50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Freed. 50 Shades Freed was the worst.
really. I think they're all bad.
Because-
I heard
because-
Darker's the worst.
No, because bro, like he gets in a helicopter. I remember this specifically.
Oh, I heard
He
about
gets in a
this. I
helicopter,
heard about this.
And
Okay,
then
yeah.
it crashes, and then she's watching it on TV, and as she's watching it, he's like, "I'm home."
Yeah, he
like-
just shows up.
Yeah, he like lived, and he like survived. He just stupid.
Okay.
Stupid.
I'm going to start this off by saying I don't hate these movies for kink shaming. I think whatever you're into, cool. However,
I don't want to overshare, but I do know that when it comes to the content of this movie, it was not accurate at all.
no.
No,
Like,
nobody does that shit.
Nobody.
No, none of that's.
Here's the thing. I think the idea can work
It could work.
because it's an interesting like psyche dynamic you can
Yeah.
like really go into
Yeah.
about like dom sub relationships. However, this is not the case.
No, it's just bad. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's
like
just, I hate it. I hate
it's-
it so much.
it's not healthy even on that kind of relationship because he is way too controlling
Yeah.
even outside of all this like
Yeah.
BDSM stuff.
Yeah, he's just annoying.
Yeah, he's literally a creeper.
Like, didn't he sell her car?
He sold. I think he did.
He
He also
sold
like
her car.
he like stalks her at her
Yeah.
job. She can't talk to any of her friends.
Yeah.
She can't do anything.
Yeah.
And it, like,
I'm like, that's not how it works. That's like not.
No.
No, that's not how it works. You know?
Uh-huh.
That's why so many people were mad when the movie came out because they were.
Yeah.
People went into this movie not knowing how the actual thing works,
Mhm.
and then they thought, oh, this is how that works. That's bad. That's
Also-
why I hate them so much.
Also, I know one thing about the movie.
What?
Seriously, 2 spanks and you're like, I'm done.
I'm leaving you forever.
I'm leaving you forever. Like,
And
come on. Like, seriously, that's the limit?
Yeah.
Like, bro.
It's none of it made any perfect sense to me. It was just really bad. Just
Yeah.
poor act. Just I'm not gonna say poor acting because I really like Dakota Johnson.
I like
but
the dude too. I think he if you give him a good
the dude
script.
has a punchable face. I will punch him.
His interviews are genuinely funny. Like, he's a very, like, charismatic guy. He's just...
I can't. If I ever see him
It's
on
the script.
the street,
It's the script.
I'll, like, look the other way. I won't be like, hey, can I get an autograph? Like, I'm not going to look in your direction.
No, I highly recommend you watch, I don't know the actor's name at the top of my head, but he has an interview on Graham Norton where he talks about his early childhood.
Yeah.
It is hilarious.
Yeah.
We're almost done with the negatives, and we'll get into positive. We have one more, and I think people will mostly agree with me on this. It's kind of on the same 50 Shades level.
Yeah.
365 Days.
I didn't like the ending. But the ending, the way it was a book. It was a book series.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to end like that. But
I hate the premise.
Yeah, no, the premise.
I hate the premise. Well, okay. The movie is 365 Days. It is about what is it, like a Polish...
She's Polish. And
She's
the
Polish.
dude's Italian.
Okay, an Italian gangster kidnaps some random lady who he saw in a vision.
No,
whatever.
At the beginning of the movie, he sees a girl on a beach,
oh,
and he's
right,
like, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful." And then he sees her again when she's on vacation, and he's like, "Oh, she's here now, and I gotta have her."
So he kidnaps her and tells her, "You have free reign of the house," or something like that. You have free reign of the house, and if you do not fall in love with me in the next 365 days or a year, then you are free to go. But until then, you are stuck here. Yeah. AKA Stockholm Syndrome, Rape, the movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is horrible. Yeah. Also, like, just, like, the context of it.
I mean, she gets her shit. She buys a bunch of shit off his money. She buys a lot of stuff.
I know. She's still kidnapped against her will.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see anybody arguing against the movie without me just going, she is kidnapped
I watched it
against her will.
It took the first time I watched it, I didn't finish it, but then I was like, oh, I guess I'll finish it. And it's stupid. It's stupid.
The only good thing about this movie is that song that became popular off of it. I think I See Red or something like that. I saw it on TikTok.
How does it go?
Don't make me sing.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it's like, I see red.
Oh.
That one?
Yeah, that
Okay,
one.
you just heard me sing, people.
Yay!
Alright. Fuck that movie. Okay. We're going to move on to a positive note.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about top 10 of our favorite romantic movies that I believe any of you should watch on Valentine's Day. Even if you're hitched, single, I think these are all really good movies that will make you feel something good inside.
Yeah.
Alright. How about this? I do my top 10 through 6.
Yeah.
You do your 3, and then I'll do my top 5.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Sounds good?
That's good.
All right, at number 10, I have, I should say, 40 Days and 40 Nights. So what this movie is about a guy who just recently got off of a bad breakup over a girl he was with for many years. He's kind of having casual sex and everything like that. Nothing's really doing it for him, so Lent is coming up.
Yeah.
And he decides, you know what, for Lent, I'm going to give up anything and everything sexual. So, no masturbating, no sex, no relationships. Or, no, I shouldn't say no relationships because it's... that's kind of the whole point of the movie. So he gives up on Lent, and the first day of Lent, he runs into a girl who he hits it off with pretty well. Yeah. And he's basically like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun, like, premise because once his friends start figuring out what he's doing, they start to mess with him and, like, put him in situations. And it's really funny.
It's cute, though.
It's also a movie that, like, has, like, a good, like, message about, like, hey, don't, like, rush into things.
Yeah.
And, like, it's okay to, like, bond over just, like, trying to get to know them better than rather just, like, casually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just fell on my seat.
What are you doing? What happened?
Sorry, people, for those that... I just accidentally, like, kicked the thing that lowers my seat. And I just sunk in my chair. Okay.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I really like this movie. I like the actors. The main girl in this movie who plays the main love interest.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's her name? I don't even know.
No, I don't.
I don't even know.
No, I don't.
These are new to me. I'm like a horror person, so I don't really watch a lot of romantic movies.
Okay, Shannon Sossaman. That's the name. I might be saying the name wrong. And the main actor is Josh Hartnett, who, really cool dude. Okay, moving on. We have, at my number 9, I have the Will Smith movie, Hitch. Now, this movie is about Will Smith, who is a kind of relationship helper. Like,
Yeah.
he helps guys that don't know how to just, like, get a conversation going.
Yeah.
Like, they're very awkward, so he helps them find confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
And ultimately, throughout the movie, he has a hard time trying to get the attention of one girl who I think is played by Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, all of his advice he gives people isn't working on him. So it's a really funny movie. And they also bring up the idea of how his advice may also be used for, like, bad people.
Yeah.
Where it's all like, hey, I just want to, like, just get to know them and have a quick one-night stand. And they call him out on the possibility of that. And I find the movie actually goes places that I didn't think it would. And also it kind of combats the idea of, like, hey, not all this advice really works. Like, some girls just like the awkward guy.
Yeah. I mean, like, from experience, I'm a girl.
I could see.
Yeah, I'm a girl.
I could see.
And I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, it's okay to be awkward. It's okay if you don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, this Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
ask out that girl that you're scared to ask out. What the worst she can do is say no. The worst thing a human being that's not crazy can do is say no.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's always the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm so tired of just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you feel like you gotta act a certain way, or, like, man up and
Mm-hmm.
get the ladies. Like,
Mm-hmm.
chill out. Dude, just be good. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time,
Yeah.
but I do remember just, like...
Liking it?
I remember loving that movie.
Yeah.
I just remember it. It was
Also,
a long time
Will
ago.
Smith is really good in it.
Will Smith is, like... God, Will Smith is...
It's the movie that really shows his, like, charm. And, like, just the charisma charm. It's, like, pure Will Smith charm. Also, it's probably one of my favorite Kevin James movies.
I just was gonna say, isn't Kevin James in
Yeah,
this?
Kevin James is the guy who's, like, a hopeless, like, romantic. He's
Yeah.
trying to get with, like, his coworkers, like, leagues above him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be generous. 3. She's, like, a 9.
Sorry, Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin. He's fine. He's got money.
He's got money.
He's got money. He's not going to listen to this. And the ultimate, like, realization at the end, all the relationships in this movie work.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, so, it's human. It's really nice and human.
Yeah.
That was number 9? Okay, what do I have number 8? Oh, at number 8, I have Shaun of the Dead.
That sounds... Oh, Shaun of
It's
the
the
Dead.
British one. It's an Edgar. Okay, this movie is about Shaun, who is a middle-class worker trying to make it by, and he recently goes through a breakup, and the night of the breakup, the zombie apocalypse happens.
Yeah.
And him and his friend try to survive.
He's in a gas station. He works in like a convenience store, right?
Yeah, he works in like some tech shop, like for like something like that. But yeah, this movie's hilarious. It's so well directed, and also it is a love story because it's about him trying to get back with his girlfriend. It's it's during the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
So there's like zombie shenanigans, and the relationship between the two actors, Simon Pegg and the girl.
I think I have seen this movie.
Yeah.
It's coming back to me.
It's just it's also great bromance.
Yeah.
Like the relationship between him and Shaun and Ed is really good. They're like good friends, and they have their problems with each other, but they always just come back to being like, you're my best friend.
Yeah.
It's so good on like a romance level, bromance level, comedy, a little bit of action that's in there.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Horror, and it actually delves into like the zombie horror tropes that are like the good ones at least.
Yeah.
Like having to sacrifice a loved one. Yeah, it's just
That's hard.
it's a shit's deep. Yeah, I love Shaun of the Dead. That's why I have number 8. At number 7, I have this little movie called Stardust. So this movie is a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
The plot is this guy goes to a fantastical world to retrieve a fallen star for a girl that he likes. It's very sweet like that.
Aww.
He's trying to impress this girl by saying, hey, she basically gives him this impossible task of like, hey, if you can give me a star, I'll be with you.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, sweet. So he goes to retrieve a star, and it turns out that stars are like they're basically kind of like people when they arrive down on Earth, And it's this girl that he basically just says, hey, can you come back with me, show that you're a star. It's basically an adventure film where it's a typical hero's journey about, like, hey, don't let people push you around.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of man up a bit. And try to, like, do things for yourself. And he kind of develops a relationship with this girl who is a star.
Oh.
Ironically, played by Claire Danes. It's a really sweet, fun adventure movie. Robert De Niro plays a gay pirate. Yeah.
You got me interested.
Michelle Pfeiffer plays like an evil witch.
Wow.
It's very fun. Also, the main actor in this movie is Charlie Cox from Daredevil. And like
when did this come out?
Like 2008 or 7. It was like it was an early 2000s movie, and it has a lot of like Ricky Gervais makes a cameo in the movie. Henry Cavill has like a really small role. And like the thing that happens with him at the end is really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie's just so charming. And for like those of you who are nerds like me, the movie is written by what's his name? Neil Gaiman, who did The Sandman, what's that Netflix? Good Omens. He did that. So it has a lot of like really funny ideas and like really cool fantastical stuff that, oh man. And also the romance is really sweet.
Yeah.
And like
cool.
it's also believable how these two kind of fall for each other.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit Stockholmy, but it's a bit Stockholmy, but
it's sweet.
He's not like, hey, he lets her go at one point.
Yeah.
And she just continues to
Yeah.
go with. So she has a choice.
Yeah.
Like he's always like, hey, can you please come with me? It's always like that.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that was number 7. Okay, number 6, we have The Shape of Water.
Fish.
The Fish movie.
Yeah, the fish movie.
What this movie is about is a deaf-mute girl.
Yeah.
She's a cleaning lady for some secret military base, and one day the military brings in a fish creature from the Black Lagoon kind of creature.
Yeah, it's
a fish man.
It's like a human form, but like a fish. Like you ever seen Hellboy?
Yes, that same director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, it's a Guillermo del Toro movie. He was always a huge fan of the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the reason why he made this movie is because he wanted to see the creature get with the girl.
Yeah.
And the movie is just very like fairy tale like. And it's like a dark, like grim fairy tale told in like a modern age, and like all the actors bring something new. Every like character is like a misfit or like an outcast during the 60s. Like Octavia Spencer plays like a black cleaning lady who's she's so good in the movie.
She's great.
There's another actor who's so good, but he plays like a closeted gay man.
Yeah. And
who helps her like because he's like, I can't find love, but if I can help you find love. It's that kind of sweetness in the movie. That's why I like it. Now, I've watched this movie with people and they said, that was weird.
Yeah.
And it is a very weird movie, but the reason why I like it, because I always think of it like, look, if a fish man could get with someone and find love, maybe us guys can find something.
Damn, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. He's a hot fish, though.
What? Ayo.
Bro, are you... Look at the fish. Look at the fish.
Now that you told me that it's the same director, I can kind of see how he probably got a little inspo from like Hellboy, because Hellboy is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, Hellboy's good.
The
original
Hellboy,
yeah.
the two
2000s.
2000s
The Ron
Hellboy.
Perlman Hellboys, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good. Okay, so that was my 10 through 6.
Yeah.
Kyah, would you like to tell your movies that you want to put on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, these are movies that I haven't seen.
Which I'm kind of like...
Pissed.
No, I'm just surprised, because they've been around for a while.
I know.
And they're just really... One of them, like, is really big in pop culture.
I know. You know what? When I watch it, I will do a review on this show, okay? Okay.
I got you.
And then you can come back on and talk shit. How's that?
Deal.
Fair. Okay, go on.
Okay, so, number 1 is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. A lot of people are probably not gonna like this because when I explain to you the plot, you're gonna be like, yeah, you're stupid.
I know what the plot is,
What's
but
the plot?
okay, the plot is about
Scott.
Scott. You want to explain it?
It's my favorite movie.
You just told me to. You just called me. You know what?
I know.
Fuck it. Go.
So basically, there's this guy named Scott Pilgrim. He's a bassist of this really sick band, and it starts out where he has this girlfriend. She's a little high school girlfriend. She's 17. Her name is Knives Joe, and yeah. But one day he sees this girl on roller skates with dyed hair. It's Ramona Flowers. And he's like, whoa, Ramona Flowers. She's so great and amazing. She's beautiful. Forget Knives. I'm going to cheat on her with Ramona Flowers. But then, Ramona's like, in order to be with me, you have to fight my 7 evil exes. So he spends the entire movie fighting her 7 evil exes. Mm-hmm. And in the end, the boss battle is this, I forgot, what was his name?
You don't look at me.
I don't remember his name, but it was weird. And then they get a bunch of coins just falling there, and it's weird. Yeah. And they end up getting together, but...
Spoiler.
They end up getting together.
Alright, fair.
And then Knives isn't mad, but Knives, has a breakdown and gets really mad and tries to fight Ramona for a minute, so... it was kind of funny. It's just a fun... I will say it's funny. Scott Pilgrim sucks.
That's what I hear from a lot of people.
He sucks. He's really bad. Because you're bad. You're shitty.
For cheating?
And yes. And you're bad. You're terrible. You're gonna tell me you're gonna do the most difficult thing in the world and fight all these damn people for this one girl.
Hey, man.
This one girl that's not even, emotionally there. She's so static, and it's really weird.
Hey, man.
But, shit, that one scene with Brie Larson, where she sings, Black Sheep by Metric. Yeah, that scene goes crazy. Brie Larson's in there.
I know Chris Evans. He plays...
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
He plays the pro skater.
Yeah.
What's the order? It's the dude...
Can you not tell me the order? Because I now really want to watch this.
I really want to watch it.
I do.
Chris Evans in there.
I know he's in there. I also know that the Brandon Routh, who played Superman at one point, is in there as a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allison Pill is in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's a drummer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Allison Pill is in there.
I also know the infamous shot of, Knives coming to the door.
Yeah.
And,
and
he jumps through the window. He's like, no.
He just left.
He just left. Jumps through the window.
Infamous. Just perfect.
It's
funny. It's a funny movie.
I also know one little detail that's, there's apparently a moment with, Japanese people, a Japanese, keyboard player or something like that, where he,
twins.
He turns a dial.
Yeah. And
it turns to 11, but it's 11 in Japanese.
Yeah.
So I know that. Yeah. That's the one other thing.
That's the most minuscule detail.
But I know it because Edgar Wright, I saw an interview where he pointed that out, and he thought it would be really funny because there's a joke, throughout Hollywood that you kind of see in some movies where, I forgot where it was from, but there's a movie where it's like a faux documentary about a band. Yeah. And they're like, oh, when we really want to party, we crank it up to 11. And then they call him out by basically going, well, why don't you just make it 10? And they're like, no, we're going to crank it up to 11. And it's just this really awkward interview.
That makes more sense that it's in this movie.
Yeah,
because
so...
They just put a bunch of stupid stuff in this movie.
So, if you ever look for, little dials, if you see 11 on the dial, that's what they're referencing. Yeah. I think there's a gun in Deadpool, Cable's gun. Yeah. He turns it to 11 to, do, a big charge.
You know what, speaking of Deadpool...
You gonna put Deadpool?
I'm gonna put Deadpool.
Okay, go. You want to explain Deadpool? Because I've seen this.
Sure.
Okay.
Watch Scott Pilgrim.
I will. Audience, I will watch Scott Pilgrim, and I'll have Kyah come back and review it with me, because I think she'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah! Alright, so, number 2, we'll say Deadpool.
Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Okay.
Deadpool
This is Kyah's number 2,
Deadpool,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, how do I explain it? Marvel, anti-hero, Deadpool. He, meets this girl, and...
does he meet her?
What?
That has to be my favorite sex scene of all time.
What is it, 3 whole minutes?
Yeah.
It's really long.
But it's like
It's
different.
just continuing.
It's different. Okay, movies
Different
about.
holidays.
Do you mind if I explain it real quick?
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Deadpool's about mercenary Wade Wilson, the merc with the mouth. He develops cancer, so he goes to experimental treatment, becomes a mutant who can basically survive anything, gunshots, stab wounds, anything like that. And he goes on a revenge mission to kill the guys who made him look like basically a ball sack.
Yeah.
And he has to also get back with the love of his life. And yeah, it's a great romantic movie.
Yeah.
It's a great Marvel movie too.
Better explanation, and it's funny.
Yeah,
Ryan
and
Reynolds, man.
back to the sex scene then. There is a 3-minute sex scene where they go through the different holidays, and it basically shows the progression of their relationship.
Yeah.
International Women's Day is so funny. Now, keep in mind, so I saw this with my friend's mom and my friend, and the funniest part was when that part came on, she had to cover his eyes while I was just like, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
Yeah,
And
Deadpool-
oh my
Deadpool is
God,
one
I
of
never
those
thought.
movies that, like, I don't really watch with my dad, because my dad's a big Marvel.
We
fan.
just skipped that part.
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny.
It's funny though. You don't want to skip it. Like,
Yeah.
It's funny.
And also, what I like about it too, it's not just for gratuity.
Yeah.
It actually shows a relationship.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Because it's just funny.
It's not just like the movie. It's just
Yeah.
like the movie's hilarious.
Mhm.
Like, oh my god, funniest movie, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. But it's like it's good.
It's also the reason why I don't like Deadpool 2 that much, because of
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah. Why?
They-
For what?
They do a thing in comic books where it's called fridging. So, okay, history lesson for people out there. There's a term in like media and entertainment called fridging,
Yeah.
where you set up a love interest, particularly sometimes a girl,
Yeah.
only for her to die and be a plot point for the main character.
You just spoiled the movie. You just spoiled it. You spoiled it.
Deadpool 2.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
It's the start of the
I'm pretty
movie.
sure most people have seen Deadpool,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure most people have seen Deadpool too.
Yeah.
But you spoiled it.
Fuck off. But the term became popular because there was like Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
He had a girlfriend. You didn't know much about the girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was just the supporting girlfriend you never know anything about her. And the villains kill her off and put her body in a fridge
Jesus.
for him to find out. So you never got to know her. All she is basically a plot point to be used.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's a term that it's in a lot of action movies where it's just like, oh, the wife is there to die and be a
What was the act? There was a movie that I saw that did that. Like the first.
Death Wish.
Yeah.
Death Wish. Well, they kind of set it up at least. Some Steven Seagal movies. Hell,
Yeah.
most Stallone, Arnold movies. You can name it, but it's a term that, like, glad to see we're kind of getting away from it.
Yeah.
Because I just think that there's more
Well, it
you
doesn't
can
really
do.
make any sense. It's like
It's just
great.
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Great plot point. Wow.
Mhm.
Amazing. Stupid.
That's the only thing I don't like about that Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
But I still think Deadpool 2 is really good.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what's your next movie? Just so we can keep the ball moving.
Let's do Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, okay.
Edward Scissorhands. You've never seen Edward?
I've seen parts.
Yeah.
I've seen parts. I know
Classic.
most about it, yeah.
Classic movie. So basically, the scientist creates a little creation, and it is Edward Scissorhands. But the only problem is, I think the scientist dies before he can finish him. So he dies or he stops working before he can give him hands. So he gives him scissors, like blades for hands. And then he's just like, oh, now I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go to this town
So
and
wait,
be with people.
so the hands were the most difficult thing to make,
Yeah.
not the brain
I
or
don't think so.
facial structure.
No.
The
Just-
hands.
I think he just died before he could finish building him, and I think he was gonna do the.
I've
hand
seen
class.
those hands.
Yeah.
Those are very complicated hands
Yeah.
to make.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but they look really difficult.
Priorities,
They're all
man.
blades,
He's just
scissors. I think there's like some hedge cutters in there or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's weird, but
it's a cool design.
Yeah.
I've seen the design in a lot of things. It's a really cool design. Very,
oh yeah,
very Tim Burton.
this
though.
is a
very
this
Tim
is a Tim
Burton.
Burton film. Yeah, and goes to this town.
Mm-hmm. A really white suburban town. I've seen that.
Yeah,
Oh
with
man.
the scene with like the ambrosia salad. Oh my god.
I don't know about that.
No,
I've
but-
seen the ending with.
God, she's in it, right?
Who? Yeah, Winona Ryder. Do know she's in it.
Yeah, she's in it. And basically, they
develop a relationship.
They develop a relationship, but he's like,
he can't get close because he will.
He's not finished.
Yeah.
He's not complete.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the thing that kind of makes him complete. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I really forget how it ends, but I just remember it was a really sweet movie.
Yeah.
And I like it because I like horror.
I've seen the end. Yeah.
And it was a Tim Burton film, and it's not like it wasn't like in your scary horror, but it was like it was a Tim Burton.
It's horror in the idea of like a fish out of water and gothic horror because of like literally the castle on the mountain and everything like that.
And then the houses
Vincent
are
Price.
all pink and like bright colors, and the neighborhood's just really bright. Everyone's just really
suburban neighborhood,
up and just happy all the time. You know, and it's a good movie, and I will live my life loving Johnny Depp until the day that I die.
Oh, me too.
I
fuck Amber Heard.
I really.
I don't want to get into that.
No, I'll just never really forgive not just her, but the industry to what they did to him.
Yeah.
He still is a great actor.
Okay, I'll say this about that relationship. Fuck it, it's Valentine's Day special.
Yeah.
I think in that situation, it was just unhealthy for the both of them. They were both at fault.
Yeah.
But I don't think that if they're still keeping her on for Aquaman, which, I mean, I like Aquaman, she's not the best part of that movie. She's actually the worst thing about that movie. But, no, exactly.
She's not good.
She's good in...
One of them is better than the other.
Oh, yeah.
It's
like
obvious.
One's an actual name. Okay. So I'll say this. Yeah, Johnny Depp, we love you. Yeah. We want to see you in more things. Yeah. Let's move on because I do not want to open more of this can of worms.
Yes.
What do you have
My
next?
final one.
Number 5.
I don't watch a lot of horror. I watch a lot of horror movies. I don't watch a lot of romance movies. Mm-hmm. But number 5, Warm Bodies.
I have seen this. I do like this movie.
Warm Bodies was cute. Twilight for people who actually cared.
Mm-hmm. With good writing.
It was a good movie. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid.
Dumb. But then when I watched it, I was like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a really cute story, and I like I really like the ending. Yeah. Like, just like on a whole, I thought the ending was really good. And it's also like a dark comedy, like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
It goes places.
That's why I just remembered when you were talking about Shaun of the Dead, I was like, okay, I remember what it is.
It does the zombie tropes right. Yeah. Like, and you can do a lot with those tropes in a good way.
There's so many zombie movies out there, you know. There's so many zombie series, zombie movies, zombie stories.
I think when Walking Dead came out, the genre became way too, like...
Walking Dead has had, they got like 9 seasons now?
I think 11.
Shit. For what do you do, die? Like, you have to die eventually, man. But
they keep walking, that's why.
Yeah. Just keep walking?
Yeah, just keep walking. Yeah, I like Warm Bodies. I like Nicholas Hoult, I think his name is. Yeah, he's really good. I don't know the actress's name.
For those who haven't really seen it, just sum it up in 3 words. Girl falls in love with the zombie. Mm-hmm. And
the zombie comes back to life, pretty much. I like a zombie movie where it actually says, like, oh, no, there's a way you can get out of this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the zombie movies don't do that.
Yeah.
They're all, like, bleak. This one actually has, like, a good heart behind it.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it.
It's sweet. She's the reason, he's coming back to life from the dead, the undead, you know? It's
also, he's fallen in love with her because can I say this? Yeah, he ate her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that's kind of the reason why.
Oh, my God.
So it's just, like, weird, like, you're technically. And I guess in this, like, whenever they eat the brains, they can gain them memories or whatever. So, yeah. That's the idea. Crazy movie. I really like that movie, too. Okay. Back to my list now?
Back to your list.
Yeah. At number 5, I have Weathering With You. Now, I'm a bit of a weeb. I like anime. Mm-hmm. Okay, I shouldn't say weeb. I like anime. Yeah. I don't watch a lot. I do love the movies, though. I love anime movies. I love Miyazaki. Yeah. I think Weathering With You is a really good movie on its own, and just on its own, but the animation is so damn good. So if you don't know what this movie is about, Weathering With You is about a boy from one of the islands of Japan, basically runs away and goes to Tokyo. Yeah. And the first couple of weeks, he's having a hard time finding a job because he's underage, he doesn't have a card. He's just trying to make it by as best as he can. Then one day he runs across a girl who has the ability, every time she puts her hands together and prays, she can bring out the sun.
Yeah.
So it's been like weeks and weeks of rain, and he decides, I got an idea. Why don't we make money off of this?
Yeah.
Why don't we set up a website and people can pay to have the sun shine up? And it's basically this really sweet relationship between this boy and girl just trying to make it by because they're both, like, it's really sweet.
Aww.
And, like, it has that, like, anime thing of, like, you don't know what's going to happen next because, like, they go into, like, her magical powers and stuff like that and just, oh, man, it's just so sweet. And, like, I'll say this, like, I'm a sappy guy. I love good gestures of love.
Yeah.
This one probably has the best gesture of love. Like you can't get more grand than this.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But, like, I will say the conversations I've had about this movie, specifically about its ending, are fun. Because you have, it's totally a movie where...
You can spoil it. Because when people spoil things for me, I forget.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for the audience. Kyah, no.
I already did that
no.
once, didn't ya?
Kyah, we don't talk about that. No.
I think I'll watch it, though.
Yes, I have.
I can watch it.
It's really good. And please...
When was it made?
Huh?
When was it made?
2019.
So it's, like, recent.
Oh, yeah. And oh, my God. I can't rave more about the animation. Like, especially because the whole it's take place in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So everything is moving. There's colors. And it's raining, too.
Wow. Yeah,
so, like, you have...
Crazy.
Oh, man. But, like, I watched the movie in dub. You can watch it in sub.
Yeah.
I think
whenever I watch anime, I like to watch it in dub for the first 5 minutes. And if I like it, I'll keep going.
I think you'll like it. There's no real... It's not, like, cringy at all.
It's just dialogue.
It's just dialogue and, like...
That's what I like. I just...
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's, like, any, like, mistranslations of jokes.
Yeah.
Because there is another movie on this list that has a problem with that, where, like, the dub... one of the jokes in the movie doesn't work because it's... In Japanese, it's said differently.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was my number 5. And number 4, we have Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
I love 90s rom-coms or dramedies, and this one is about... It's made by Kevin Smith, who is, all intents and purposes, king of the nerds. Like, I love Kevin Smith, and I love his movies. This one's probably my favorite of his. It is about a guy who falls in love or develops a crush on a lesbian.
Yeah.
And it's this weird, awkward thing where it's just like, is she a lesbian? Is she bi? What's the relationship like? And it also plays on, like, his insecurities because we learn a little bit about her, her past, and, like, he doesn't know how to handle it. And, like, it's also one of the movies where it's just, like, the title is a misdirection and it's done in a really good way.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's really funny. The guy's, like, he is a comic book artist or inker.
Yeah.
So a lot of, like, they make fun of, like, there's a lot of comic book jokes. You get to see what Comic-Con looked like back in the 90s.
That's
wild.
Man.
Also, there is a black gay guy in this movie. He's friends with our main character. So what our main character will do, he will go on his, like, interviews and, like, with the crowd and call out, like, some racist shit
funny.
so they can call back and forth and make...
What's the actor? Who's the actor?
The main actor or the black actor?
The black guy.
Oh, fuck. I haven't seen him in a bunch of things, but, like, he's really good. He's really funny. Hold on. Look up, just look up Chasing Amy. I forgot his name, but...
now I need to know, because what if
it's also
like...
probably one of my favorite Ben Affleck performances.
Yeah?
Yeah, he plays a really subdued, like, just normal guy, like, kind of thing. And you totally buy why he would fall for this for a lesbian.
Yeah.
Because it's not because he's like, oh, she's hot or anything like that. No, she just genuinely likes her personality.
Yeah.
And that's what I get behind. And also, like, it's a very real relationship as well, where it's not, like, too Hollywood, where it's just like, no, they go through some very real problems, where it's just, like, miscommunications and misunderstandings.
Yeah, like normal people.
That's just what I like about it. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Can you say his name?
Dwight Ewell.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, for you stoners out there, it's kind of a stoner thing as well. A lot of stoner humor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Especially, do you know Jay and Silent Bob? They make an appearance in this movie.
Who?
Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. They have a great moment in this movie, and it's also it's funny and dramatic.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I really like about it. At number 3, I have Your Name.
Yeah.
Now, this was the other anime that I was talking about before, but I just think this one is so much better than Weathering with You. And I really like Weathering with You. So the movie is about a boy and a girl. Guy's in Tokyo. This girl is in like some rural area of Japan that hasn't really aged that much.
Yeah.
It's very traditional. It's very, like, their technology is probably like in the early 2000s, while Tokyo is like Tokyo.
Yeah.
So one day, these two random people switch bodies. So it's a body swap movie.
Whoa.
I can't tell if that was sarcastic or not.
Whoa, man, what's going on?
Trippy shit, bro. But I'm only going to say that because this movie has some shit in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's also really funny because I'm only going to talk about the first half of this movie. The second half is so good, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
When was this made?
2014?
Oh, so this is like recent.
Yeah, it's and the animation is so much.
How would you describe the animation style? Like, give me a comparison.
Modern day Ghibli, like the same amount of attention and detail Ghibli puts in,
Wow.
but with like modern day like colors. So it's not that 90s pencil drawn.
Yeah.
This is more like the it's computer, but it's Apple Pen, and like every little bit of grass has detail. I'll say this: there's a comet in the movie, and it's beautiful.
Wow.
It's so beautiful, and yeah,
Attention.
it's also like really funny because again, it's a guy and a girl
Yeah.
swapping bodies.
Yeah, that's.
And they do a lot of jokes about that. Like, there's an ongoing joke throughout the movie where every time he wakes up in her body, he grabs her.
I knew you were gonna say that.
He grabs her boob, but
it's just a thing.
yeah, I like to be the guy who would be like, I'm very respectful, but if I woke up, like,
Hey, I would do the same thing. Just
Yeah.
In a different way.
yeah, and they do joke about that because they wake up.
Yeah.
So like it's really hard to like not notice it.
Movie,
So yeah, and oh my god, there's some moments where, like, unlike Weathering with You, which has some really good like moments of like, whoa, that's really cool.
Yeah.
This movie literally had my jaw drop when we find out what's really going on.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's so good. Oh, I will say this about Weathering with You as well. The music is so good.
What's the music?
It's made by a band called Radwimps.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made. Oh god, they made.
I don't know what else they've done, but they've done
done-
some really good. They do really good music in
They have
this.
done a lot of anime.
I'll say this:
openings.
overall, the music in Your Name is really good, but
Yeah.
Weathering with You has my favorite song.
Yeah.
I think it's called Grand Escape. For those of you who want to look it up. Okay, but yeah, what Your Name number 3, probably one of my favorite it's probably my favorite anime movies.
Yeah.
At number 2, we have Sing Street. Now, came out in 2016, and it is probably my favorite, not only romantic movie, but movie about art and passion
Yeah.
that I've ever seen. So what the movie is about a kid in Dublin, Ireland in the 80s.
They look like they're in Dublin in the 80s.
Yeah, there's some Irish accents in this movie.
I
Watch it with subtitles because
I'm not gonna know what's.
you're not going to understand a thing they say. But, besides the point, still really good.
Wow.
So it's about a boy who's big into like the 80s Euro invasion music. So like
yeah.
Duran Duran,
Yeah.
Aha,
Yeah.
Take on Me, that kind of music. And he's big on that music. And one day when he's going to his new school, which is a Catholic school, where they're all like, no.
Music bad.
Or especially that kind of music where it's
Yeah.
very, homoerotic.
Oh no.
So one day he sees a girl across the street and he's like, you know what, I'm going to gain the courage to go up and talk to her.
Yeah.
So he talks with her and she says that she wants to be a model. And he's like, oh, cool. Well, you know, me and my friend over there, who you just met,
Yeah.
we're in a band. And so, throughout this movie, the first, like, 30 minutes, it's just him getting to know other people at his school by, like, asking what they play. And there's this one kid who knows all the instruments. They find... Okay, this is one joke that I laughed at, but it could piss people off. They find a black kid in Dublin. He's the only black kid in Dublin.
I already know what you're gonna say because I looked at the actors list and I looked at the character name.
What is I forgot the character's name.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm black and I'm not gonna say that.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I am a black person. I'm not saying this word. I'm not saying that.
That's his name? Oh, okay, yes. Maybe I should read just because they don't really go into it that much because he's also he's African. He's African, yes. His mom is African, but he has like a
the actor is an Irish rapper.
Really? Well, he's really good, but they make a joke in the movie about like, well, yeah, he's bound to know something. And then he calls him out on that, like, is it just because I'm black?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, and they're like, fuck y'all, I know how to play the keyboard.
Yeah.
That's the one joke that may not slide for everybody, but everything else in this movie is so good.
Yeah.
But the music they make is like really, really good, like 80s style, Euro invasion style music. Like I listen to the soundtrack.
Like new wave?
Yeah, it's a bit of Elton John, bit of Duran Duran, bit of Aha. Yeah. So good. Like if you like that music, you're gonna love this movie. And like also the relationship between the two characters, the guy and the girl, it's very realistic because at a point he starts to like see that he starts to like really become comfortable with himself about doing the music and like really pursuing this as a dream because like everybody is just in this slum of Ireland because like everybody wants to move to London because the economy's trash.
Wow. Was this made in Ireland with like Irish people? They got Irish. Wow, because everyone in the cast list is Irish.
Yeah, it's really good, and like that's the thing about the relationship between the two is just like they're both really passionate, and that I don't want to say what happens at the end, but it's like the perfect. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. Yeah. Like it's probably one of my favorite open book endings. Yeah. Where it's just like maybe. I'm not gonna say all the details. But it's a really good ending, and like,
sounds like a really good movie.
And like, oh my god, the message about brotherhood in this movie too.
Oh yeah.
Like his
I can
brother.
See that. I can look at the picture of like all the characters.
I highly recommend people go out and see this. It's probably one of my favorite movies about art, love, passion, drive. Yeah. And also has one of my favorite FU songs.
Yeah, they look like they're doing some post-punk like. They look like they're doing some.
I'll say this: there's a moment in the movie where they perform at a school dance.
Yeah.
And they basically give a big FU to the principal, and it's one of the best FU songs ever.
I gotta watch it.
Oh yeah,
I gotta watch it.
I want to watch it with you.
Yeah.
Really, I really do. So if you ever have time.
I got you.
Audiences, it'll work. Yeah. Okay, number 1. I think this is just the best movie of all time. The Princess Bride. Kyah.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Oh no!
Audiences,
never seen The Princess Bride.
Oh, audiences will have to watch this too. Well, you can watch this on your own.
I was just never into when I was little. I was just never into movies like that with like princesses.
I wasn't either, but this movie's really good. It's also, you know why I like this movie?
Why?
It doesn't take itself as serious as you think. No. So what the movie is about well, it's kind of weird. It's a movie within a movie.
Yeah.
So, initially, the movie is about a young boy who's sick, and his grandpa comes over to read him a story. And the movie is the story the grandpa is telling him. So, automatically, it's very fairy tale-like.
Yeah.
But, it being read by, like, an old Jewish grandpa, it has that kind of comedy to it. It's so good. And the book, the story, The Princess Bride, is about a young man named Wesley who falls in love with a girl named Buttercup.
Yeah.
And one day he has to go away. He apparently dies at sea. And then years later, she's become Princess Buttercup, about to marry a royal prince. But she gets kidnapped by a bunch of bandits. And then suddenly this mysterious Dread Pirate Roberts comes in to save the day. Now, I'm not going to say who the Dread Pirate Roberts is.
Jack Sparrow.
No. Have you not been listening?
Jack Sparrow.
No.
Jack Sparrow.
I'm not going to say it, but it's a very romantic movie. It also has, like, probably one of my favorite sword fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh man, it's like top tier swashbuckling sword fights.
So like this is like fairy tale. Right?
Yeah, but what's really good is that it has this like sense of humor where it doesn't take itself that seriously.
Yeah.
So like during the sword fight, it's not about them killing each other. It's more about who's the more skilled.
Yeah.
And they're very honorable. The Inigo Montoya lets them up. Lets up the Dread Pirate Roberts so that they can have a fair fight. Lets them have a breath. He tells his side of the story. Dread Pirate Roberts tells his side of the story. And they're like, hey man, I'm afraid I have to kill you. And it's just like, and he's like,
sorry man.
I love the line, like, I'm afraid I have to kill you. And he's like, and Pirate Roberts just goes, I'm afraid I'll have to die. Like, it's that kind of like wit and humor.
Okay. I may have gotten this mixed up with a different movie.
Are you thinking of The Princess Diaries?
Yeah.
With Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not. That's what I thought this movie was.
Oops.
But no.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
sorry guys.
Oh,
I'm a fool.
yeah. This is also, shout out to my brother. This is my brother's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he loves this movie.
Well, then now it's like something I would like then, if it's like that.
Yeah. Also, like, As You Wish is probably my, if we're talking about gestures of love, it is probably my favorite gesture of love.
Yeah.
As you wish. Did I scare you?
Yeah.
This is why I have a face for radio. Alright. That was our Valentine's Day special.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun talking about the worst. Oh man, did we have fun talking about the worst.
Horrible movie.
But I'm kind of glad we talked about the best because I really do think a lot of people, a lot of movies tell love in a really interesting, unique way.
Yeah.
And like, the more real it is, the better you feel at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more good ones on this list than bad ones.
Yeah. I want to be a very positive person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could look at the bad ones and you could look at one of them in a positive. You can look at two of them in a positive.
You can look at Tall Girl, like, okay, I'll say this about Tall Girl. I'm very ignorant to what a tall girl may go through. But as a tall dude, I've also like gone through a lot of shit too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not because I'm tall.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm fucking weird.
Yeah. You know?
But the thing is, that girl. Oh, now we're just doing Tall Girl again. That girl is just bland.
Yeah.
Like boring.
Just boring.
Like,
is the movie boring or is she just boring?
you know what? The movie's just boring.
It's just boring.
It's just boring. All right. Do you have anything you want to say before we end this off?
Watch Romeo and Juliet with like.
Drunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just very, very like.
Read Shakespeare.
Yeah.
If you want.
I feel bad for the people that never like actually like read Shakespeare all the way through. So like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they saying, man? Just spitting gibberish up in here. I don't even know.
It's very proper English.
Yeah.
Read Midsummer Night's Dream. Is that it?
I think so.
That's the one about like plays within plays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. That one's
Yeah.
really fun.
I don't know. I mean, my favorite Shakespeare story was Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I've always liked that one because it's just the ending's stupid.
I'll say this. I don't think I would ever fall for a girl so hard I would kill myself.
Yeah. Well, it's the, both of them.
Hopefully I don't
both of them
trigger
were dumb.
Yeah.
Like you could have shook them a little bit. And like,
Yeah.
Hey, you awake?
Ex-
You okay? No.
now I gotta put
no,
this shit in
guess
the
I'll die.
Romeo and Juliet. All right.
Guess I'll die.
Well, I'll say this. For those of you who are listening to this on Valentine's Day, please have a great Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Call up your friends. Tell them you love them.
Text that girl.
Text that.
Text that girl. Call that girl. Buy her some flowers.
Don't tempt me.
Do it.
I don't know if I want to say this on air. No.
Nope.
Okay. No. People, you're about to see shit, and I feel like I'm going to get so many texts when this comes out saying, like, you should have. I'm
You
like,
should've.
no. No. Okay, I'll say this. Keep listening to Wave Radio. We've got so many good shows. We got the show with Katie's show, Maggie's show. Yeah. Keep listening to Wave Radio. And if you're listening to this on my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, share. I would love to hear what you would like for us to talk about. We're probably going to do a Scott Pilgrim review. Maybe even a Sing Street review if you're down.
Honestly, let's do some horror movies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's do some horror movies. I'll come back for horror movies.
Cool. Okay.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. That is all. Have a good day.
That's all.
Bye.